Hello my dear students, very good morning to you. I hope that every student are feeling very good. My dear student, today we are going to deal with the second part in the lesson SIR C V RAMAN. My dear student, before going to start the second part SIR C V RAMAN, in the last class we were discussing about some important aspects in the first part of the same lessons of C V RAMAN. My dear student, let us glance once again what we had discussed in the last class. See what we have discussed. In the last class we had discussed about the birthplace of Sir C V Raman and when was he born, who were his parents, how he had a greatest interest in the subject of science, and also he proved that how he presented and prepared a model of dynamo to his class teacher or science teacher, and how he was appreciated by the teachers in his school. But unfortunately he couldn't attend classes regularly or school regularly because of he used to fall sick now and then. His health did not support him to go school regularly. Yes, that was his fault actually. And then, along with that, even though he suffered a lot, even though his health did not support him, but he did not stop to continue education. But he continued his education and he passed the examination of matriculation, and all the examination he got admission to the college level. When he got admission to the college level, his parents suggested him to leave science subject and to take another arts subject like history and economics in his higher studies. When his relatives suggested him to take history and economics as a major subjects in his higher education, but he did not ready to accept the suggestion of his relatives. Instead of that, he took the physics subject in the higher studies. He got and he secured first rank even in the MA examination also. My dear student, how could scientists like Raman feel very happy in taking off another subject like history and economics? Since he had made up of his mind to study well in science, since he had made up of his mind to do something in the field of science, how could he feel very happy taking other subjects? So that is why he did not take history and economics in his higher education. He took again physics and secured first rank in 1907, isn't it? So these were the things what we had discussed in the last class. My dear student, in this class we shall go the part second in the lessons of C V Raman. My dear student, open the page number again 19. I will read the lesson, listen carefully, my pause, test and intonation. Soon after completion of my reading, yes, list out some difficult words. After that, give me the difficult words. Shall we start? Shall we go? Okay, open the page number again 19. Come to the paragraph 3. Listen. After his MA, Raman wanted to go to the United Kingdom for higher studies in science. But his health broke down again and he could not go. This was the greatest disappointment in his life. His relatives asked him to give up his studies of science and take a competitive examination in Calcutta in history and economics. Raman did so and got along well with his new subjects. He got the first place in the competitive examinations and was appointed Deputy Accountant General in 1907 at Calcutta. His relatives perhaps felt happy to see that Raman had settled down well in life. But Raman was not happy. How could a scientist like Raman put up with the life of a Deputy Accountant General? He felt like a fish out of water in his new post. But he still had hopes of becoming a scientist and was waiting for an opportunity. Now read on silently. Come to the fourth para. Even as Deputy Accountant General, Raman mixed with the scientist and took interest in science. One day, while returning from his office, he saw a banner outside a building on which was printed the Indian Association of Scientists. At the sight of the banner, Raman got off the moving train and went to meet the scientists who had gathered in the building. Sometime later, when he was in Rangoon, he learned that an institution had brought a piece of modern scientific apparatus. He hurriedly put on his clothes and went to have a look at it. Such was the interest he had in science. In 1911, Raman was appointed Special Accountant General for Posts and Telegraphs in Calcutta. But when he was offered the post of a professor at Calcutta University, he jumped at that offer and accepted the post gladly. After working at Calcutta University for 15 years, he became the director of the Indian Institute of Science in Bengaluru. The Raman Research Institute was started in 1948. Raman resigned his post at the Indian Institute of Science and became the director of the Research Institute. Here, he conducted his research in physics until his death. My dear student, I hope that you understood my reading, and also I hope that you listed out some new words. I will give you 2 minutes to read and comprehend the meaning of the context, and if you find any new words, tell me after your silent reading. Okay, dear student, yes, I hope that everybody did complete your work. See here, I have also listed out some new words here. See here, first one, give up. What is meant by give up, dear student? It means leave, give up, leave. Then Calcutta. See, it is a place. Calcutta, it is name of the place. The present name of the place is Calcutta, isn't it? The capital city of West Bengal, isn't it? The former name of Calcutta is Calcutta, isn't it? Now it is the capital city of West Bengal. Put up with. So it is a phrasal verb. Put up with. What does it mean? Bear or tolerate or sahi siko. Got it? And then gathered. Gathered means assembled. Assembled or serikondiruva. Got it? Then operators. What is meant by operators? Operators means materials. Here, which operators referred here? Here, the reference of operators referred here, some important materials which will help to the study of science, isn't it? Then, hurriedly, hurriedly, quickly, and then put on. It is also one of the phrasal verbs. Put on means wear. Wearing of clothes. Got it? And then broke down. Broke down. One of the phrasal verb. It means to stop working because of a fault. To stop working because of some fault. Then gladly. Yes, it is very easy. Gladly, happily, isn't it? Joyfully. Then intensely, severely. Tikshnate in Kannada. Tikshnate in Kannada. Then voyage. Voyage means journey by sea. Samudra yana in Kannada. See, these are the new words, my dear student. I hope that you have listed out these also. Okay, come to the text, my dear student. In the last class, we have discussed about how Sir C V Raman got interested in science and how he passed the matriculation examination and intermediate examination, and how did he get admission to the college levels, how he passed all the examination as well as MA in physics in 1907 also. So even though he used to fall sick now and then, he did not continue his studies. Isn't it, dear student? He had a great determination in his mind. He had a great perseverance in his mind. He wanted to achieve something else in the field of science. Got it? My dear student, in the last class I also instructed you to cultivate such kind of character, such kind of mentality what Sir C V Raman had. We should, all of us, we should cultivate such kind of mentality in our life. Got it? So these were the things what we have discussed in the last class. Now, after his MA, my dear student, MA, in the olden days, physics was also came under in MA, but nowadays there will be some divisions, isn't it? Let me show. See, if after the passing of SSLC, there will be three divisions. There will be three divisions. One is among them arts, and then commerce, and then science. My dear student, these will be the divisions after completion of the SSLC examination. Got it? Major divisions. You may also go to the another word like diploma and ITA, some other else, isn't it? So here basic things: arts, commerce, and science. See, this is the PU level after the SSLC. After you completion of this PU level, then if you directly go to degree, got it? Degree BA. If you have taken arts in PU level, you have to take BA in degree level. Got it? If you have taken commerce in PU level, you have to take BCom. What is that? BCom in degree. If you take science in PU level, you must take what is that? BSc. Very good. BSc in degree level. So this is considered as degree. Got it? ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪದವಿ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? After your completion of your degree, got it? Then you will take in arts level, you will take LA. What is that? LA. And then after completion of BCom in degree level, you should take what is that? MCom. Got it? And then after completion of BSc in degree level, you must take what is that? MS. See, these are the master degrees. MA means Master of Arts, MCom means Master of Commerce, MSc means Master of Science. My dear student, these master education are considered as post-graduations. What is that? Post-graduation. Got it? So this is the actual picture of our education condition in today. But in olden days, if a person had taken MA, he should have taken physics. So likewise here, Sir C V Raman, he had taken physics in MA and he passed well. He got a first rank also. Then after his MA, Raman wanted to go to the United Kingdom for higher studies in science. My dear student, after completion of your post-graduation, you will have some kind of higher education which will come under in research. In research, you should go to the universities. You should go to the universities and you should have conducted some kind of education or research areas there. Here, Sir C V Raman, after completion of his MA in physics, he decided to go to United Kingdom, UK or England to have higher education, to gain a good education, to know deep knowledge in science. But his health broke down again, my dear student. But unfortunately again, his health broke down again. He had to face some troubles in his health and he could not go. See, what is the condition, how he felt. Since he was suffering from some problems in his health, he couldn't go to United Kingdom for higher studies, my dear student. Think about his mentality. See here, he felt very bad, he felt very sorrow about. about so that he couldn't go to United Kingdom for higher studies. This was the greatest disappointment in his life, my dear student. So this was the greatest disappointment that he had to face in his life. My dear student, what was the greatest disappointment that Sir C V Raman had faced in his life? Yes. See, when he decided to go to United Kingdom for higher studies, his health broke down again. So this was the disappointment thing in his life. He felt very bad about that. His relatives asked him to give up his study of science. So my dear student, what is meant by give up? Give up means leave, bid to do. All the relatives of Sir C V Raman suggested and they persuaded him to leave up the science subject and to take another subject like what were those? Like history and economics again. See, give up his studies of science. They suggested to leave study of science and take a competitive examination in Calcutta. And also, his relatives suggested Sir C V Raman to take a competitive examination in Calcutta in history and economics. So, according to the suggestion of his relatives, so if Raman had taken history and economics in competitive examination, he would have passed. He would have passed easily in the examination and he would get a good score and he would get a job in his future. So that it would help to Sir C V Raman. So this was the suggestion made by Sir C V Raman's relatives. So initially, so what Raman felt? Even he had made up of his mind to become a scientist, to do something in the field of science. How could he decide? Let us see what would have happened in the later. And take a competitive examination in Calcutta. See Calcutta, see underline this word, my dear student, come here. Calcutta, what does it mean? The present name Calicut. Sorry, the present name Calcutta. The capital city of West Bengal. This is the capital city of West Bengal. And history and economics. Suggested it to take history and economics so that it would be easy to Sir C V Raman to take and attend competitive examination. Raman did so. My dear student, here Raman accepted the suggestion of his relatives. As a suggestion of his relatives to take history and economics in competitive examination, he did so. He accepted and he took history and economics. So that and got along well with his new subjects also. My dear student, think about it. See, since Raman had come from the science background, history and economics would become new to him. So new subject, how could he pass new subject? If I have taken a new subject, I have to work hard in that new subject, isn't it, to score. But here, Sir C V Raman, he got a good score even in the new subject. Actually, Raman was not familiar with, he was not friendly with these subjects, history and economics. But since his health did not support him, he had to take, according to the suggestion of his relative, he had to take history and economics for his competitive examination. And he along well with his new subjects. He scored good even in the new subjects. He got the first place in the competitive examination. See, that is why in the last class I told you one proverb, my dear student, success always follows hard work and dedication. Since Sir C V Raman put lot of efforts, hard work and dedication, he could got a good score even in the new subjects, and he got first place in the competitive examination. So think about his IQ, think about his wisdom, isn't it, my dear student? And was appointed Deputy Accountant General in 1907 at Calcutta. See, he was also appointed as Deputy Accountant General in Calcutta in 1907. See how he was able to do all things. See, what made Sir C V Raman to do all the things in best level? Only thing, he had a great dedication, he had a great perseverance, he had a great knowledge, he had a great vision to do something. So these were the important aspects made and pushed Sir C V Raman to do well in all the things. His relatives perhaps felt very happy to see that Raman had settled down well in life. My dear student, see, after the suggestion of his relatives, Raman took history and economics in a competitive examination and got the first place in the competitive examination, and he secured the post of Deputy Accountant General in 1907 at Calcutta. See, seeing all these things, his relatives felt very happy. Raman's relatives felt very happy that Raman had settled well in his life. Raman got well positioned in his life. They think like that. But Raman was not happy. See, think about another way how Raman was struggling with the new post. Raman was struggling. He was not struggling to attend all the affairs of the new post, but he was not happy with the new post because of that. Since he had made up of his mind to become a scientist in his future, he was not happy. He was not happy as a Deputy Accountant General. My dear student, Deputy Accountant General in those days was equal to Deputy Commissioner, what we call DC, District Commissioner, isn't it? It was an equal position like that. But and also it was highly paid position, highly paid post. He was getting all the facilities by the government, but still he was not feeling happy. What was the reason? The reason was only one, that, my dear student, he wanted to do something in the field of science. He wanted to become a scientist. So that is why he never felt happy in the highly paid post. So how did he feel in that post? He was not so happy. How could a scientist like Raman put up with the life of a Deputy Accountant General? How could a scientist like Raman, such kind of a scientist Raman, what kind of scientist Raman was? Yes, if he had made up of his mind to do something in his life, he would have done something else in his life. That is the thing what Raman had. Such scientist of Raman, he never wanted to do something in the field of what he was not wanted to do, but he wanted to do something in the field of only science. He never felt very happy in the post. How could he feel very happy in that position? Like Sir C V Raman, he wanted to do something. He wanted to research something. He wanted to do something to the nation and the world in the field of science. He felt like a fish out of water in the new post. How did he feel in the new post? Yes, he felt in the new post like a fish out of water. My dear student, what would have happened if the fish had thrown out of the water? What would have happened? The fish would die, isn't it? Like that, here also, Sir C V Raman felt uncomfortable in the new post, even though he was earning high amount. He was not feeling good and happy. But he still had hopes of becoming a scientist. But even though he was maintaining as a Deputy Accountant General, he was thinking about to become a scientist in his future and was waiting for an opportunity. And Sir C V Raman was waiting for that kind of opportunity. My dear student, here some questions are there. First one, come to the C1. Answer the following questions and share your responses with your partner. First one, who were Raman's parents? Why was Raman not able to attend school regularly? Where did he complete his intermediate examination? What subject did his relative advise him to take for BA? Why couldn't Raman go to United Kingdom for higher studies? These are the 5 questions. As a homework, you must answer once again. Got it? Now, even as Deputy Accountant General, Raman mixed with the scientist. Even he secured the post of Deputy Accountant General. He mixed with the scientists and took interest in science. He always used to spend his time with the scientist. Even he was a deputy accountant general at Calcutta. One day, my dear student, one day what had happened? Let us see. While returning from his office, while he was returning from his deputy accountant general office, he saw a banner outside a building. While he was returning from his office to home, see, on the way he saw the banner on the building. See, what was written on the banner? So what was written? Yes, there was written the Indian Association of Scientists. When he was traveling by road, he saw the banner. On the banner was written Indian Association of Scientists. Then he felt very happy to see that. Why? Why he felt very happy to see that? Because he was always thinking about to become a scientist. So that is why he was preparing and he was awaiting for such kind of opportunity. Now he thought that it was an opportunity when he saw the banner. At that sight of the banner, at the sight of the banner, at the view, sight here, what is meant by sight? Sight means view. My dear student, we can also say homophone, isn't it? Homophones are also there. Homophones. Yes, in the last class we discussed about homophones. What is meant by homophones, my dear students? Once again I will repeat. Homophones are the words which we pronounce alike or same but different in spelling and meaning. These are called homophone. We pronounce alike two words, isn't it? We pronounce alike the words but different in spelling and meaning. Here we have observed one word, sight. S-I-G-H-T. S-I-G-H-T. Sight. What we call, what is the synonym of the word sight? View. View, look, isn't it? Nota. See another sight. S-I-T-E. Sight means what? Our land, piece of land. Also we can call in Kannada Niveshana. Sight. These are all pronounced alike but different in spelling and meaning. Got it? These are called homophone. At the sight of the banner, when he viewed the sight, when he viewed the banner, how did he think? Raman got off the moving train. He jumped out of the moving train. See, he was traveling by train. He saw the banner. See what was written on the banner? Indian Association of Scientists. When he saw that, he jumped out of the train, moving train, and went to meet the scientist there. He rushed to the building and meet all the scientists who were gathered in that building. Here we can also, one word is there, my dear student, meet. What is that? M-E-E-T, meet. Homophone again, meat. Another meat, M-E-A-T, meat. Flesh, isn't it? Flesh. This meat, flesh, mamsa in Kannada. See, meat, beti madu. Got it? These are also common in homophone. He got up from the moving train and went to have a look at it and to have a meeting with them. The scientist who had gathered in the building. Suddenly he got up, jumped off from the moving train and rushed to the building and to see and meet all the scientists, and he wanted to discuss what meeting was there, isn't it? So sometime later, another example, my dear students. Sometime later, when he was in Rangoon, my dear student, one more example, how he had it. Even see, while we were discussing in the earlier stanza, earlier paragraph, when he was a boy, when Sir C V Raman was a boy, how can you say that? I asked you one question as your homework. How can you say that Sir C V Raman had a greatest interest in science when he was a boy? In the answer, we should give two examples, my dear student, isn't it? See, one example, he prepared a model of dynamo and presented to the teacher. One. And another one is he brought many books from the college students and read them. Isn't it? See, these two examples say that how he had a great interest in science, even as a boy. Here, even as he was working as Deputy Accountant General, he had not lost his interest towards science. He had the same interest in science even he was working as a Deputy Accountant General, my dear student. We can also give example how he had a great interest in science as a Deputy Accountant General. One we have completed. What is that? See, when he saw the banner on the building, which was written on the banner, what is that? The Indian Association of Scientists. When he saw that banner, he jumped out of the moving train and rushed into the building and to meet all the scientists. And one more example, when he was in Rangoon, isn't it? See, come to here. When he was in Rangoon, he learned that an institution had bought a piece of modern scientific apparatus. Come here, my dear student. Put up it, beer. Gather apparatus. What is meant by apparatus? Materials. Materials which are related to this science, isn't it? See, when he was in Rangoon, SIR C V RAMAN came to know that one science institution had purchased many scientific materials, many scientific apparatus. When SIR C V RAMAN heard these names, when he was in Rangoon, what did he do? Come. He hurriedly put on his clothes. He quickly weared his clothes and went to have a look at it. Immediately he went to look at that scientific institution or science institution and to see what kind of materials or what kind of apparatus that they had bought in that institution. Isn't it, my dear student? See how, think about how he had interest, he had a lot of interest even he was working as a Deputy Accountant General. We will give two examples, two witnesses how he had great interest even as a Deputy Accountant General. One is when he saw that building on the banner, the Indian Scientist Association, he jumped out of moving train and rushed towards the building to meet scientists. Another example, when he was in Rangoon, when he heard that a institution had bought new scientific apparatus, what did he do? He immediately put on his dress and went to have a look at it. Such kind of great interest that SIR C V RAMAN had when he was working as deputy. Then, such was the interest he had in his science. My dear students, in the 1911, see, let us observe how he had a lot of interest in science. In 1911, Raman was appointed Special Accountant General for Post and Telegraph in Calcutta. But a student, even he was working as Deputy Accountant General, he had a lot of interest in science. He never lost his interest in science. See, in the time of 1911, what had happened? See, he offered many things. What kind of offer he received? He promoted or he appointed to the higher position. What higher position he appointed? Raman appointed Special Accountant General for Post and Telegraph in Calcutta. See, he became the higher officer in the Department of Post and Telegraph in Calcutta government. Then, even though he promoted to the higher position, even though he got highly paid post, but he never felt that, he never felt happy about the higher paid position, highly paid position. Dear student, since he had made up of his mind to do something in the field of science, how could scientists like Raman feel very happy in the new post, isn't it? He never felt happy, even he got a higher position. But he was offered the post of a professor at Calcutta University. My dear student, in the last line I explained that he was waiting for an opportunity. He wanted to do some ways. He waiting for the ways to do something in the field of science. So only opportunity was waiting. Now, yes, the opportunity, yes, decided to search where Sir C V Raman was. Isn't it? The opportunity itself came towards Sir C V Raman. What was that opportunity? Yes, he got the professorship post, the post of professor in Calcutta University. When he was offered the post of professor at Calcutta University, he felt very happy about that. Again, he got his same position. Again, yes, God graced him as he thought. He got what? Sir C V Raman. He jumped at that offer and accepted the post gladly. Yes, really. Still now he was feeling fish out of water. When the offer came to him, the professorship at Calcutta University, he accepted, he hugged with that post gladly. He felt very happy about that. So that he would get good opportunity to do something in the field of science, to give lectures to the juniors. So that is why he felt very happy when he got the post of professorship in Calcutta University. Jumped at that offer and accept the post gladly. Gladly means, my dear student, what is meant by gladly? Yes, gladly, happily he accepted that post. What is the opposite of the word happy? Unhappy. Got it? Very good. Then, what is the opposite of the word accept? Yes, refuse. Refuse is the opposite of the word accept. Got it? So, he gladly accepted the post of professorship in Calcutta University. Then he resigned the post of Special Accountant General. Then, after working at Calcutta University for 15 years, he happily worked at Calcutta University for 15 years as a professor by lecturing to his juniors in the university. He felt very happy by teaching to the juniors, especially to the young scientists. Then what had happened? See, after he did the service for 15 years, he decided to resign the post. Then after working at Calcutta University for 15 years, he became the director of the Indian Institute of Science in Bengaluru. My dear student, one more offer. He became the director of the Indian Institute of Science in Bengaluru. See, the Indian Institute of Science is situated in Bengaluru. He became the director to that institution. The Raman Research Institute was started in 1948. My dear student, in initial part, when we were knowing the introduction about Sir C V Raman, that we came across one thing that, see, what was that? Raman Institute was the dream child of Sir C V Raman, isn't it? Now, after he became the director in the Indian Institute of Science in Bengaluru, the Raman Research Institute was started in 1948. Raman Research Institute started in 1948. Raman resigned his post at the Indian Institute of Science. See, Raman decided to resign the post of director in Indian Institute of Science and became the director of the Research Institute. And then he became the director of Research Institute. Raman Research Institute, which was started in 1948. My dear student, one question I would like to ask: when was the Raman Research Institute started? The Raman Research Institute was started in 1948. Good. And then he became the director of Raman Research Institute. Here he conducted his research in physics until his death. My dear student, after he became the After he became the director in Raman Research Institute, then he decided to devote his complete life in research, especially in the subject of science until his death. And he conducted many research activities in that institute until his last breath, until his death. So this is about, my dear student, how Sir C V Raman had a great interest in science. Now we conclude this lesson. Okay, before that, let us go to the grammar aspect. Okay, my dear student, we will stop here. Let us go some grammar aspect as I listed out from the context. Come here, first thing, homophones. My dear student, what is called homophone? Yes, as we discussed in the last class, homophones are the words which we pronounce alike but different in meaning and spelling. These are homophones. Now let us go. First one, homophones. In the middle of the class, we discussed these things. So homophone, sight. The another one is sight, isn't it? The homophone of sight is sight, S-I-T-E. Then meet. The another one is M-E-A-T, meet. Though we pronounce alike of these two words, but these two words are different from spelling and meaning. Got it? Then, say meat, baby are you in Kannada. Meat, M-E-A-T, meat, flesh or mamsa in Kannada. See, no, yes, E-A, see. Both are same pronunciation, both are having the same pronunciation, but both are not having the same meaning. Then peace, P-I-E-C-E, peace. Another one is P-E-A-C-E, peace, shanti, isn't it? Good. Next, great. Another one is G-R-A-T, great. G-R-A-T, great. Got it? Then next here, antonyms or opposite words. So first thing is accept. So what is opposite of the word accept? Good. Refuse. What is that? Refuse, accept. Andre sweetness. So refuse andre tiraskarisu. Forget. What is the antonym of the word forget? Good. What is the antonym of the word forget? Good. Remember. Remember. Got it? Then earlier. What is the opposite of the word earlier? Yes, later. Got it? So these are the only few examples what I listed out, my dear student, and remaining words are also there in the text. Got it? You should go through that and make 10 opposite words as your homework. Got it? And also 10 homophones as your homework. Then verbs. V1, yes, V1 symbolizes that present, V2 symbolizes past, V3 symbolizes past participle. Got it? See here, take an example of see. No do. What is the past form of see? Saw. Yes, A-W. What is the past participle form of see? Seen. Yes, W-E-N. And the remaining are become. See, what is the past form or V2 form of become? Became. What is that? Became. Very good. Became. Observe carefully. B-E-C-A-M-E, became, in past tense. See then, in past participle, what would have happened? Yes, again become. Again become, got it? Then go. Go, in past, went. Then in past participle, go, went, gone. I think you are very familiar with these things. And then put. It remains same, put. Then here also same. What is the past form of put? Put. What is the past participle form of put? Same, it remains put. Jump. What is the past form of jump? Yes, jump. What is that? Jump. What is the past participle form of jump? Again, jump. Very good. And then conduct. What is the past form of conduct? Conducted. Conducted. Very good. What is the past participle form of conduct? Yes, again conducted. Yes. Where did we come this word? Yes, in the Sir C V Raman conducted many research in institution. Got it? Then work. So what is the past form of work? Worked. What is the past participle form of work again? Worked. Got it? You should observe carefully. Here I will repeat once again. Become in present, became in past, become in past participle again. BECOME, become in past participle. Got it? So complete these knowledge. My dear student, these are the grammar aspect of today's class, and I hope that you understood today's class very well. And I would like to give homework. Take down the first question. See, first question is, come to the page number again. What is the page number? Come to the page number 19, my dear student. Come to the page number 19. So read all the 5 questions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Along with that, come to the page number 21. Come to the page number 21. In the 21, you should write the glossary. You should write the glossary. From give up, you should start from give up and up to the matriculation. Got it? You should write all these glossary words and their meanings in your homework. And as I told earlier, you should write 10 homophones and 10 opposite or antonym words. These are today's homework. Got it? Okay, dear student, I will conclude today's class. Okay, remaining things we will discuss in the next class. Thank you so much.